Hello and welcome to the Genuine Learning Blog. My name is Melissa Galasso, and today we're going to talk about a new technical Q&A from the AICPA, Q&A section 6400 for healthcare entities. This has been a hot topic for the last couple of years, so a lot of healthcare providers are going to be very happy to have a little bit more guidance in this area. This is going to address lease accounting and CCRCs, and so this has been one of those things when we rolled out leases, how do you evaluate certain items? And so let's take a look here. Accounting for lease components in Type A life care contracts by continuing care retirement communities, or CCRCs as we're going to call them today. This just came out in August of 2020, and there was a lot of concern about what was the proper accounting. I can remember probably 6 months to a year ago, I had this question raised, and we knew that they were working on it. And so we're really excited now to have some final standards here. But in this scenario, there was confusion as to whether something met the definition of a lease. There was some confusion about how you would apply revenue recognition and what those appropriate pieces were. So a little bit of background for those of you who might not work in this area. When we talk about a Type A life care contract, that's sort of all-inclusive continuing care. And so it includes the initial occupancy in an independent living. So this is, we actually have one very close to my home that was built in the last couple of years. And they're little homes and they're pretty independent. However, it includes services and amenities that they're allowed to use, and they have access to healthcare services for the remainder of the resident's life. And so that's sort of the higher end type of contracts that are out there. When you think about the types of healthcare, you're going to have assisted living, skilled nursing, or both. And then typically no increases in fees other than your sort of, inflationary costs or whatever's agreed to already. This TQA is addressing some of those hot button questions that people weren't sure of. So when you look at these contracts, do they meet the definition of a lease? Are they leasing the building? Are they leasing the bed, right? There was all of these questions that were out there. And so they provide some considerations and how do you evaluate whether you have an embedded lease, whether you have a lease, what are some of the things that are in these agreements? And then if you have them, what is the lease term, right? We talked about the options for renewals that are included in the lease term. And, how long is someone going to live? This is not something that we usually think about in terms of a period of time. So that one was an interesting one. If we had an embedded lease component, what would be the proper classification? And then for non-lease components that are included in this agreement, what would be the proper treatment for those? They also discussed how the CCR should consider advance fees. This is a hot topic for other entities, but those advance fees and periodic fees when calculating measurement. How do you and when do you reassess the lease term? And then what's the accounting treatment for when there is a termination? So when the person moves out of the resident moves out into maybe an assisted living facility or skilled nursing, they need that next level of care. What do you do in this scenario? And so if you work in this area, this is going to be a really great TQA. It's very long because it's not black or white. It's really a lot of shades of gray. It's more about the things to consider and what different factors are and how you weight them. It's not like this is the answer. So these TQAs were not decided to be prescriptive. They're very much, okay, this is how you apply the considerations that are already in this principles-based standard. So this one was a quick and dirty. Hopefully for those of you who are impacted, this can be really helpful. We know a lot of people were looking forward to these coming out, and this is more of an FYI. They're out there. So thank you for joining me today on the blog, and I hope to see you on a future blog. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.